What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there. We're talking about our top 24 quarterbacks and our quick and dirty top 30 running backs here for Week 9 Fantasy Football. Just a reminder, if you're looking for more detailed information, that's the Start Sit videos. We're going to run through this list here pretty quick, but maybe you find yourself needing flex rankings, kicker rankings, defensive special teams rankings. That right there is a member perk here in 2022. Consider hitting that little blue join button on this side, the little blue join button, and becoming a member and getting access to those as well as a bunch of other things. But now is the time where we dive into the rankings. Let's talk about our top 24 quarterbacks. And right here at the top, Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City Chiefs got a matchup Sunday Night Football going up against the Tennessee Titans off their bye week, and now he has Kadarius Toney as if he needed more weapons. Number 2, Josh Allen. Doesn't matter that it's a difficult matchup against the Jets. He scores on everyone. Same with number 3, Jalen Hurts, who's coming off his best passing game of the season, followed by number 4, Tua Tagovailoa, the highest I may have had him ranked all year long, with a matchup going up against Chicago, who just dealt away Roquan Smith. Number 5, Lamar Jackson, not having a high ceiling, but pretty safe floor each and every week for Lamar. Number 6 is Kyler Murray in a rematch going against the Seattle Seahawks, this time at home. Number 7, Justin Herbert. Sounds like he's going to have Josh Palmer back and active, so that is a good sign. Gives him somebody to throw it to because it doesn't look very good for Keenan Allen right now, and we know we don't have Mike Williams. 8 is Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers. The ceiling is super low, but each and every week we can almost pencil him in for 2 touchdowns passing and gives him that safer floor, especially in a matchup going up against the Lions this week. How about number 9, Kirk Cousins? Another one of those consistent options here in fantasy football going up against the Washington Commandos, followed by number 10, Joe Burrow, taking a slight hit here because Zach Taylor doesn't know what offensive plays to call, it looks like. Number 11, Trevor Lawrence. Much better matchup for him this week going up against the Raiders, who allow more points to fantasy quarterbacks than any other team in football. Followed by number 12, Justin Fields. Is it crazy how slow this guy started and how fast he is climbing? He's putting up points because they're letting him do what he does good, and now he has Chase Claypool. 13, Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks. He's just playing nice and consistent. A lot of people still surprised by the play of Geno Smith. His worst game of the year came against Arizona the last time they faced a few weeks ago. Looking for him to turn around, got him at 13. 14 is the roller coaster that is Marcus Mariota of the Atlanta Falcons, going up against the Los Angeles Chargers, so not a bad matchup, but which Marcus Mariota do we get? The top 5 version or the top 20 version here this week? Which will take us down to Taylor Heineke, Washington Commandos, with that matchup going up against the Minnesota Vikings. This kid has no problem going deep down the field to Terry McLaurin, and it's starting to happen pretty consistently. 16, Andy Dalton of the New Orleans Saints. He's got a matchup here this week going up against Baltimore on Monday Night Football. Can he get a few of his weapons back? He's doing just fine without him, with multiple touchdowns in back-to-back games now. 17 and 18, Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford playing each other, and had you told me that at this point of the season these two would be sits and ranked this lowly, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. And the same can really be said about number 19, Derek Carr, and how bad that offense is playing in Las Vegas. He's found his way all the way down to number 19, followed by Jared Goff of the Detroit Lions going up against the Green Bay Packers. And it's another one of those quarterbacks that just hasn't been throwing very many touchdowns yet. He needs his weapons to get healthy. We still see DeAndre Swift missing some practices. Is Amon-Ra 100%? And now he doesn't have TJ Hawkinson. 21, PJ Walker of the Carolina Panthers, playing great football here in back-to-back games, and now a matchup going up against Cincinnati, which isn't exactly easy, but it's going to force him to have to keep scoring. 22, Davis Mills, Houston Texans. No Nico Collins. Hopefully he has Brandon Cooks. 23, Ryan Tannehill, if he starts. Now, obviously, he is still questionable, but with all the bye weeks, there's not a whole lot else to throw up in here. Once you reach 21, 22, it's slim pickings, so I got Ryan Tannehill at 23, 24, Zach Wilson in a very difficult matchup going up against the Buffalo Bills. But I know why all of you are here. You kind of know what you're doing at quarterback, but what about our quick and dirty top 30 running backs here for Week 9, starting it right off at the top with the return of Austin Eckler? I sure am glad to have him back off his bye week in a matchup going up against Atlanta, where once again he's going to be option probably 1, 2, and 3 in this offense. Followed by number 2, Derrick Henry, who is just running amok as of right now with a good matchup going up against Kansas City, hoping that game stays close so we get 4 quarters of Henry. Number 3, Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints, playing against Baltimore as of right now, one of the only shows in town, and he's putting up huge points here as of late. 4, Aaron Jones. He's the most trusted option in the Green Bay offense, and now he gets a matchup going up against the Detroit Lions, which then takes us to number 5, Dalvin Cook. Minnesota Vikings playing well, coming off the bye week 2 weeks ago, going up against the Washington Commandos this week, followed by number 6, Travis Etienne. I didn't know if we would ever see Travis Etienne this high, but in a matchup like this week against the Las Vegas Raiders, he's found himself at number 6, followed by number 7, Ramondre Stevenson of the New England Patriots. This guy is just doing everything for this offense right now, and in a low volume passing offense overall, Mondre is feasting. Number 8, Kenneth Walker, Seattle Seahawks, going up against the Arizona Cardinals. He just continues to score TDs. 9, Josh Jacobs, Las Vegas Raiders, had a horrible week 8. Need a little bit of a bounce back going against Jacksonville here this weekend. On to 10, that's Miles Sanders, Philadelphia Eagles, with a great matchup going up against Houston, followed by Leonard Fournette at number 11, going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Not a great matchup, but we're hoping for more passing work, so he's at 11, followed by Joe Mixon at number 12. He's going up against the Carolina Panthers this weekend. Can Zach Taylor please run the ball a little bit more, followed by number 13, Dameon Pierce. He's playing Thursday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles, a very difficult matchup for Dameon Pierce. 14, Donta Foreman of the Carolina Panthers. He's going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and the guy just continues to run for 118 yards a week. No, seriously, that's the total the last 2 weeks each game. 15, Jamal Williams seems to still be the slight lead back here because we're still seeing DeAndre Swift miss a little bit of time, so it's very much a split still. So I got them actually back-to-back here at 15 and 16, which is then followed by number 17, Raheem Mostert, Miami Dolphins, in a matchup going up against Chicago. Remember, no Roquan Smith there, so we got Raheem Mostert a few spots higher until we really see what Jeff Wilson's role is going to be in this offense. 18 is where I have Jonathan Taylor. He's missing some practice. This is something to pay attention to. 19, give me Antonio Gibson, because all of a sudden now they want to use him as a receiver, and he's racking up points. 20, the better back in Chicago, Khalil Herbert. He's a lot more efficient. Can we please take a little bit of the volume away from David Montgomery and give it to Khalil Herbert? 21, A.J. Dillon, Green Bay Packers. I know it's a little bit high for A.J. Dillon, but they're going against the Lions, and they're going to have to run the ball once again. Hoping for that touchdown this week, got A.J. Dillon at 21. 22 is Devin Singletary of the Buffalo Bills, no longer just his backfield. Now he's got to split it with Nyheim Hines. 23, this is where I currently have Tyler Algier until we get more word on Cordero Patterson, who is somebody we'll talk about in a second. 24, this is where I have David Montgomery. 25, CEH, fresh off his bye week. 26, Eno Benjamin, because as of right now, we still are unsure whether or not we have James Conner or not, and even if we do, how limited is he? 27, Michael Carter of the New York Jets. A very difficult matchup going up against Buffalo, but it's his 7 or so targets a week that are going to keep him here inside the top 30 at 27. 28 right now is Kenyon Drake, because we do not know if we have Gus Edwards as of yet. If we do not, Kenyon Drake will move higher up this list. 29, I want to mention Deion Jackson. With Jonathan Taylor missing some practice and Nyheim Hines now in Buffalo, Deion Jackson is a name to pay attention to and not forget about. I'm not overly worried about Zach Moss here in Indianapolis. And then 30, the aforementioned Nyheim Hines, who's now in Buffalo. It kind of hurts the value of James Cook, but I could really see them utilizing him right away. So he's finding himself right here at number 30. But like usual, I'm a man of the people. So I got 5 guys who are just on the outside looking in, on the verge of being inside this quick and dirty top 30. The first one, Cordero Patterson. Obviously, he's been activated. Does that mean he starts and plays this weekend? Not so fast. We need to make sure we follow the practice reports all throughout the weekend, because if he's 100% active, he will fly up these rankings. The next guy, Damian Harris, still splitting those backfield touches with Ramondre Stevenson as he comes back from his injury from a few weeks ago. Gus Edwards. Obviously, if Gus Edwards is a full go, he will climb up these rankings. Jeff Wilson Jr., now of the Miami Dolphins. Do I expect him to have a full workload this weekend? No, but why I have him here is he's kind of familiar with this offense already. His backfield mate is Raheem Mostert from San Francisco. They played together. Head coach Mike McDaniel came from where? Yes, San Francisco, where they were together. So there's already some familiarity there. So I don't want to just rule out Jeff Wilson Jr. altogether. And then lastly, Brian Robinson Jr., not doing a whole lot for Washington, but is getting the volume. And if you're looking for a guy that gets those touches, maybe in a Bimageddon situation, Brian Robinson is a name to consider here as well. And there you have it, my top 24 quarterbacks and my quick and dirty top 30 running backs for week 9 fantasy football. And just a reminder, our rankings probably don't match, and that is okay. If everybody's rankings matched, they would be pointless to do them. The entire purpose of rankings is to get other people's perspectives on players so that you, in turn, can put the pieces of the puzzle together and put together the best possible roster for your team here this week in fantasy football. If that's what you enjoy, hit that like button, comment down below. If you maybe you see things a little bit differently, let's have some actual conversations and not just tell each other we're right or wrong, because that proves nothing. The games haven't even been played yet. Let's have some fun here with fantasy football. Consider subscribing if you have not already. But for now, I'm going to get out of here for the day. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, a great week, and we'll talk to you later.